Grand Rising Divine Legends. Welcome to this grateful practice. I am so incredibly grateful this morning. And so I wanted to come and share my practice with you. After a long week, I am here to tape a class, and it's all to just unwind and really nourish and nurture this form, come back into the body, come back into that magical middle where that infinite peace beyond all understanding within the finite mind, we find it, right? That place of pure serenity, equanimity. And with the intent to go on an incredible trip this evening, I'm getting on an airplane to go fly down to Cozumel, which if you want to follow Yada Yoga, you can find me on the socials under Yada Yoga. You can also find me under Rev Gina J. I go by both on the socials, and I'll be sharing that trip. It is a teaching vacation. It is a vacation that I get to go enjoy and experience a whole 7 days at an all-inclusive resort down in Cozumel as the premier yoga instructor for the week. So this is something that I have been a part of for a time. It's a company that supplies the fitness instructors, the yoga instructors, the HIIT instructors, the aqua instructors at the all-inclusive resorts around the world. The Secrets, the Beaches, the Sandals, those all-inclusive resorts that you get the activities included in your stay. And oftentimes there's the live fitness instructors there guiding hour-long classes that you can attend while you're at the resort, right? So I will be leading yoga every morning, and I'm so excited. And if you are a fitness instructor and that just piqued your curiosity and you want to know more about that, reach out. I would love to share that with you. So this practice is really one of pure gratitude for the practice, for the life that I am living through this form that has learned to align to that magical middle, the authentic expression, the pure peace, pure love, pure joy, infinite is that is expressing through me as me, which I'm aware of, which I'm aligned to. And I allow the divine part, which is the unionizing of the ego and ego. I'm so thankful for my friend Natalia Marconi and the ways that she's expressing these concepts that we may know intuitively, but she's putting language around the emotional body being ego, the logical body, the logical mind, right? The thinking, linear thinking is the ego. And the twin union, that twin flame union we hear talked about, is really ego, the logical mind, ego, the emotional mind, gut brain, the logic brain, unionizing here in the heart that has no circumference, that knows no bounds. And we get to that understanding and awareness very quickly on the mat when we can learn to be still, know, and breathe. So let's start there. Roll your shoulders up and back. You can shut the eyes or let them go heavy in front of you. And let's take some breaths. Taking a big breath in. Hold it. Open mouth, odd out. Again, big inhale. Hold it. Open mouth, odd. One more. Inhale. Sip a little more here at the top through your lips. Hold. Odd it out. Odd out. Keep the lips closed and begin to breathe through the nose. Taking long, smooth, even breaths on both ends. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the belly. One more breath here on your own. Next inhale, let the eyes come open, drop your right ear into your right shoulder. Exhale all the way. Inhale. Drop your chin down toward that shoulder slowly on the exhale. Inhale here. Bring that chin down through the center to your chest as you exhale slowly. Inhale here. Exhale, lift that chin up and back as much as feels good. Inhale your left ear down to your left shoulder. Exhale. Inhale here. Slowly turn that chin down to that shoulder on your exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, chin down through the center to the chest. Slowly and gently. Big inhale here. Up and back as much as feels good on the exhale. We're going to do all of that one more time. Inhale, right ear into right shoulder. Exhale. Inhale. Chin into the shoulder as you exhale, gently, slowly. Inhale. Exhale, chin down into the chest. Inhale. Up and back on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, left ear into left shoulder. Inhale. Chin into that shoulder slowly on the exhale. Inhale here. Chin down into the center of the chest on the exhale. Inhale up, neutral. Take an exhale as you drop your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to turn the head from side to side, keeps in the breath. One more breath here. Okay, come through center. Drop this left arm down, right arm reaches up and over and lean to that left. Inhale, reach up, spread your fingers so both the sides of the body engage. And then exhale as you lean to that right side. You do that a few times, flowing through this. Inhale up. Exhale, lean. I'm always turning that palm up, opening the shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, lean. Reach that arm long so you feel that stretch all the way through the elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, lean, reach, 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 reach. Stretch through that side seat. Inhale, last one here. Exhale, lean, reach, 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 reach. We're going to make a wide winged pose with our next inhale. We're going to bring that left over the right and find eagle arms, either shoulders or palms together. Find where you can let your elbows lift a little bit, not all the way up to the chin. Keep the shoulders soft away from the ears. Tighten the belt around your waist. And we're going to lean forward slightly. It's a tiny movement. Your hips do not lift off the mat. You've gone too far if you feel your sit bones come up. Keep your chin from tucking, tight belt, and we'll start to sway from side to side. Waking up the obliques, stretching down into the side seat a little bit, getting into the hips as we reach those elbows up a little bit to stretch the backs of the shoulders deeply. Go slow. Make this as shallow as you need. I'm a little deeper because I'm experienced in this pose. You may be a very slight movement and you're doing great. Take one more breath. Come through center and fold down in here. So drop your arms down to the mat. Bend deeply, curl the spine, tuck the chin in, go as low as feels good. Get into that hip and the leg that's in front, breathe into that. One more full breath. Exhale all the way. You're going to walk toward the leg that's behind. That's on my left side. Yours might be different. And then take that opposite hand and push the leg that's in front on that knee. Push it away. Stay low. Getting deeply into your side seat. Top of the IT band. Breathe into that. One more breath. Good. Release. Inhale up. Shoulders away from the ears on your exhale. And switch the leg that's in front. So for me, it's my left in front of right. It may be the opposite for you. And we'll keep this flow going. So tight belt, long spine, shoulders soft away from the ears. Take a big inhale, reach up. Twisting off to this left side as we start on the exhale, looking over that left shoulder, nice and tall through the spine, exhaling all the way. Inhale, arms overhead, spread the fingers so you feel that stretch through the side of the body, maybe even touching fingers together, and then exhaling into the twist on this side, looking over that shoulder, staying tall through your spine, twisting from the waist. Inhaling up, exhaling to that left side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. We got one more each side. Go slow. Inhale, nourishing the body with the breath, with control from the waist, twisting to that left side. One more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. We're going to make the eagle arms on this side. So you're going to spread those wings again on your inhale. Right over left on the exhale for eagle arms, shoulders or palms. And you can change it up on this side if you need something different. Lifting those elbows slightly, keeping the shoulders soft away from the ears. Tight belt around the waist. And we'll fold forward. Go slow. It's not a big movement. Hips do not lift at all. When you find your edge, begin that sway. Again, it can be very shallow. It can be a small movement and you're still working. You're working in your obliques. You're working in your hips. You're working the backs of the shoulders. Keep those elbows lifting. They want to drop down, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep them lifting up, stretching through the back of the body. Now you may notice some props behind me, and we are going to pull some props in today. When we're done here, we're going to talk about the props that we're using this morning. So just taking one more breath here. Come through center and we drop down and we get low. We fold in, we tuck in, we drop in, and we breathe into that hip on the front leg. One more breath. You're going to walk towards, stay low, the leg that's behind you. It's on my right side. It may be on your left side. Take your opposite hand and push that front knee away, getting deeply into that side seat. IT band, right? It should feel really juicy in there. This stretch. One more breath. Inhale up. Shoulders soft away from the ears on the exhale. Good, let's talk about our props that we're bringing in today. So because I'm so thankful, I want to really nourish my body after a long work week at a newer job that I'm at, working more hours than I have in some time. I'm really wanting to nourish this form. And so I thought props are where I want to really come to my practice with some props today. So I brought my strap. So you can go find some kind of rope or long belt. A belt will work. I have a ball. I'm going to encourage you to find a tennis ball for this practice. And I've got my bolster and my block. So books in place of block and pillow in place of bolster. So if you do not have the same props as me, those are your suggestions of what you may find around your home to come into the practice with. So we're going to start with the strap. And we're going to start with some flossing of the shoulders. So we were beginning a little bit with that eagle arm movement, but we're going to get a little deeper into these shoulders with the strap. So simple seated position, doesn't matter which leg is in front. We're not really working the lower body right now. You're going to take your strap, your belt, whatever you have, and you're going to grab it as wide as your shoulders need it, your hands to be. So you may be way out here and that may be where you're at. I need pretty wide. I need a lot of space for my shoulders. When you've got a lot of mobility, your hands may be closer going back behind you. But I need a more space to bring my hands all the way right back behind me. And so this movement, go slow. We're not rushing this at all. You're going very slow. You're staying tight in your belt around your waist to protect your low back. Right? Keep your abs turned on, stay tall in your spine, and you're just taking this strap, belt maybe on your end, up and over. And if you're brand new to this movement and this is as far as you go and you just don't have that mobility to go back, that's okay. That's okay. Look at you. Look how you're moving into your shoulders. Maybe you're really tight. Maybe you have a frozen shoulder. Remember, this is Yada yoga. This is healing therapeutic yoga. So a lot of my postures are meant to bring restoration, balance, healing into the body. Shoulders are an area that we can experience injury, restriction, weakness quite often, quite easily over time, through any injury, through overuse, through not addressing something that's happened in our young years, maybe properly, maybe, we know we sustained some kind of impact, and yet we never really went and did anything about it, right? Those are a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why we will have restriction of mobility in the shoulders. But this particular movement, super good for getting into your shoulders, getting deep into the shoulder joint. And we're flossing. So what we're doing is it's called flossing. I'm just here for a couple more seconds, just a few more rounds, just enjoying the mobility that you're experiencing in your shoulder. It's so good. I'm going to get one more. Bring it up and over. And then we're going to let that go. Good. And then we're going to find a tabletop position with our knees under the hips and the hands under the shoulders. Wag your tail. When you get there, it helps you kind of check in, make sure that your knees and hands are in alignment. And then when you feel good about your base, we'll come through center and we'll cat-cow the breath. So inhaling, lifting the chin, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly toward the earth, And then pushing the floor away with your hands round the back, scoop the belly in, tuck the chin as you exhale. And do that a few more times with your breath. So inhaling, lifting, dropping in, pulling those elbows in. And then exhaling, pushing, rounding, scooping. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round and scoop. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round and scoop. Come through neutral spine. Start to circle your hips. Go one direction. You can start small. Go slow. You can increase that circumference as you're coming around. Going back, getting into the side seat, maybe up into your wrists. Stay in your breath. Pause where you are and reverse that circle. You can start it slow and small again, and then increase that circumference as it feels good in your body. One more breath. Come through neutral spine. Take an inhale here. Exhale all the way, pulling shoulders away from ears, tightening the belt around your waist. Let's get into the wrists a little bit. So turn your fingers to the long edge of your mat, palms toward each other. Start to rock back and forth. Little motion, getting into all the little ligaments, veins, muscles, all the parts of your wrist that make up such a vital part of our body. Pause. Turning the fingers now toward each other. The palms face the outside edge of your mat. And we do the same thing. They're lined fairly under the shoulders, not spread wide. Keep them kind of tight. Rock into them a different direction. Getting in just a little bit of a different way into these wrists. Last one is going to be the deepest. So we want to take some care here and palms face that short edge, fingers face your knees. Notice I drew my hand way closer to my knee. I need that to get that palm flat. You may be right next to your knee to get your palm all the way flat on the mat if you're really tight. And then we're going to sit the hips back. Stay flat in your back. Keep your belt tight. And you're going to sit your hips back towards your heels. Your palms peel up. They peel slowly up off that mat. It's deep. Right? For a lot of us that are on our devices all week long, this is going to feel very deep and nourishing. But we go slowly up out of this. We bring the hands together, cross the fingers, and slowly figure 8 to release out of that. Go one direction, and then reverse. Go the other way. Good. Peel your hands apart and shake them softly and gently with care, right? Those are some deep wrist stretches, and we want to come out of those carefully, rolling both ways. Good. Let's come into our first down dog. Hands up to that front edge, monkey grip on your mat. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up for your first down dog of the morning. Walking the dog by pressing one heel as you bend the opposite knee. Go slow. Stay in your breath. Check in that both arms are fully engaged, shoulders fully locked in at the socket, shoulder girdle locked in, not up toward your ears, back flat, belt tight, hips are lifted, you're walking your dog, feeling that stretch down the back of your leg. You'll start to baby step in, tiny little steps, pressing the heel down every time you step, coming close to the fingers, you'll tent them to stay connected to the earth the whole way up into your forward fold. You're taking these tiny little baby steps, stretching the back of the leg each step, enjoying that deep hamstring stretch. Finally getting up into your forward fold. You'll keep your knees bent to let your belly rest on your thighs. Go very heavy in your head. Shake no a couple times with your neck. Shake yes a couple times with your neck, and then go heavy.
Grab your elbows with opposite hands and a gentle sway to release all that tension out of your low back. Come through center with your next inhale. Release the hands and halfway lift, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the legs. Exhale, fold down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. 1 more, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're gonna roll up like a rag doll. So go slow, keep your knees bent. Arms are heavy, chin stays tucked. Go slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. Rolling up. Recognizing my plant is in my way, yes. Keep the chin tucked, shoulders roll first, and then the chin slowly lifts up. And find your ball. So we're gonna work out some tension out of the body through the feet. And I don't have my tennis ball with me, so I'm using my Naboso ball, which is a tool that I use in my therapeutic yoga service. I can do a whole lot more, but that's for another practice. Today, I'm going to use it like a tennis ball. I've got to be kind of careful or it'll open up. But we'll start on the left leg. And so it's a little bit of a balance. If you want to move yourself toward your wall, feel that support to lean into while you're working your 1 foot, you are going to be balancing just a bit. So we're going to weight into this right leg without dumping down that hip, right? And know that we can be next to a support system if balance is challenging for us right now. We're going to take first the toes onto your tennis ball. Do you want to kind of monkey grip the toes? Just notice it there first. Monkey gripping with your toes. You're going to move it to the arch of your foot. Just take a moment here. Just kind of notice it in the arch of your foot. And then we're going to roll it to our heel. And we're going to start there. So I just had you notice your toes, arch of your foot. Bring the ball back. You want to keep the feet aligned next to each other as best you can as we work here. And we're going to work the heel. So you want to roll the heel. You want to put a little bit of pressure onto the ball and roll your heel. Roll every corner, kind of get the back of the heel if you can, the sides of the heel, press into the heel, press it onto the ball, and just roll it out. Keeping your feet as much as you can together, not getting way off to the side or in front of you. So this is part of the exercise, is maintaining this integrity while you're releasing through your foot. So there's so many neurons in the feet, and we can release so much down through our feet using a very simple tool. You're going to come into the arch of your foot next. So come up into your arch and start to roll around, roll down onto that side of your arch, roll through the arch, roll to the outside edge of your foot, just all through the arch, making a little bit of pressure there. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep breathing, right? Don't hold your breath, and then keep that belt tight because you are working some balance here. And we're almost up into the ball of that foot. Just getting every corner of the arch there with the ball. All right, let's come into the ball of the foot. So keeping the feet parallel to each other, right? We got to move the ball around. Come up into that ball of your foot, and you're coming up into the toes as well, right? So you're rolling into your toes, rolling onto the edge of the ball, into that toe mound, right? See if you can press that toe mound into the ball. Get all the way across to the other side, that outside edge of your pinky toe a little bit, rolling there, pressing through that ball pad of your foot in between the toes, pressing toes into the ball, right? The ball can get away from you. It's okay. It's okay. That's part of this. Accepting that it's not perfect, and yet it is. imperfection is perfect. The acceptance of the imperfection is what's perfect. Yes. All right, almost done here. A few more seconds, getting every edge. All right, and let that ball go off to the side now. Find your mountain pose, close down the eyes or go heavy. And I want you just to notice the difference from side to side. Notice how much lighter that left side feels. It's incredible. I think it's incredible. I hope that you feel the incredibleness of this movement. We're going to go to the other side. I noticed right away, I don't know about you, but it is so incredible what we can do. So we're going to feel the toes on the ball first. We're just getting this foot to place on the ball and get an idea of how it feels in that particular part of the foot. Move to the arch, pressing just for a few moments there. And then we're going to come into the heel, keep the feet parallel and start that rolling of the heel, all the edges of the heel, right? Rolling back and forth. All around, making little circles, finding your edges again, pressing down on that heel, creating that little bit of pressure. Tennis ball is so easy to work with because it has that little bit of buoyancy, but it provides just enough resistance. All right, let's move into our arch next. So finding the arch of the foot, finding the edge of the arch, rolling across through the whole arch out to that outside edge, making little circles, pressing down through the arch, through the edges, across to the side again, the whole arch of the foot, rolling, pressing, and then that final piece, the ball of the foot. So we'll find the ball of the foot, the toes pressing in. Should feel really good. Find that toe mound, right? Roll that toe mound out. Oof, feels so good. I don't know about you, but my feet are loving this right now. Loving it. Find that monkey grip with your toes, spreading all the toes, roll out. Find that pressure. It feels so good. I'm so thankful. This is part of this gratitude practice, is doing these nourishing postures that may not look like yoga to someone unfamiliar with all that yoga can bring, but there are infinite possibilities of healing and restoration to that place of pure peace within yoga. Why Yada Yoga? A little bit more rolling here, and let's let that go. Find that mountain pose again. Close the eyes down, be heavy in them. Breathe and notice. One more breath. Opening up the eyes. I'm going to remove the ball off to the side. And the next part of the practice is going to just be some movement, some moving of energy, some building strength, some major stretching, connecting to the breath, going deeply within and setting myself up for the restorative posture that I will bring the block and the bolster in for at the end. So it's going to be our sun salutation, and it's going to be just the high-low push-up from plank pose. We're going to breathe down into plank pose, chaturanga, some call it crocodile. It's that high-low push-up from knees or toes. You're always going to see me drop to my knees because of broken elbow some years ago, right? But you could stay on your toes, and we'll guide that down and up into down dog, come back, up, forward fold to our mountain pose. And we're just going to flow that Just gonna flow that sun salutation a few rounds to build heat and strength, stretch, prepare for the restorative posture that we'll end with. So come to the top of your mat, finding your mountain pose. Shoulders away from the ears, finding those four corners of your feet. So grounded down, you can lift the toes, engaging the kneecaps so the quads engage without locking your knees out. So there's a way to lift the kneecaps without locking your knees out. Pull the pelvic floor up, neutralize it, always checking at that top of your iliac crest to make sure you have a neutral pelvic floor. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. Pelvic floor is lifted to knit the rib cage closed, right? We don't just pull the abs in and pull the ribs way open. We lift the abs up to keep the ribs knitted closed. That's that final piece of alignment that I want to always bring in. Take a big inhale, reach up. You're going to exhale, fold forward, hands through heart center as you fold on down. I need to find myself over here, not avoiding my plant. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Exhale, fold down. Plant the hands under the shoulders, step back into your plank pose. Keep the hips up, don't drop them down underneath your shoulders. Keep those elbows pulling in. Hug the tennis ball under your armpit, shift yourself forward, and then exhale halfway down or all the way down. So knees or toes, you're finding what you want to do here. And then your next breath is cobra or up dog. And exhaling into down dog, knowing we can tuck the toes, push the hips into the heels, and lift up from there. For down dog is always a great option. You can walk your dog when you get here. You can find stillness. You can find child pose if you need that. You have one more breath. We're going to come to the tippy toes with our next inhale. Bend the knees, look at the thumbs, and walk, step, or hop into that front edge on your exhale. Halfway lift on your next inhale. And exhale, fold down. You're going to root down, rise up, sweep the arms overhead. Maybe look up as your hands come together through heart center on your exhale. And we're going to do all of that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding down, hands through heart center, or they can go wide if you're ready for your swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hands under shoulders, stepping into plank pose. Shifting forward on your inhale, squeezing that tennis ball under your arm to engage the bicep, tricep, and exhale down how you like, knees or toes. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, down dog, rolling over feet or tucking toes, pushing hips into heels and lifting from there like I showed last time. 3 breaths. You can walk your dog or stay in silence and stillness or drop into your child pose. Last breath. We inhale to tippy toes, bend knees, look at thumbs, and we walk, step, or hop into that front edge with our exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Root down, rise up, sweep up, maybe look up. Hands come through heart center on the exhale. Again, inhale. I'm going to swan dive this time, taking arms wide as I flat back exhale, rounding down at the bottom into my forward fold. Halfway lift on your next inhale. Find the length through the legs and the spine, and then exhale, fold down. Plant the hands, stepping into plank pose. Shifting forward on the inhale, squeezing that tennis ball, and then exhale, lowering down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths. One more. Inhale, tippy toes, bend the knees, look at the thumbs. Walk, step, hop on your exhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root down, rise up, sweep up with the inhale. Maybe look up. Exhale through heart center. We got two more on your own with your breath. Let's go. Got one more. You can join me or find child pose and skip it. You do you. Everyone, meet me in child pose. So we drop the knees. You can keep them together as you release your feet and pull your hips back to your heels, letting your low back have some support there. If you want to open your hips a little more, you can open your knees up, keep your big toes together, allow your belly to draw closer to the earth. Your low back can handle that. Taking a few breaths here, just recovering from all that movement. Allowing that shift in energy to settle in. One more breath. Walk your upper body up. We're going to set up for our final posture where we'll end the practice together. So it's that block and bolster, or if you have that big book and pillow. And I'm not going to use my block today, but I'm going to show you how you can use your blocker books. And if you've practiced this with me before, you know where I'm going. But if this is new to you, I want to show you that your pillow can back up against your set of books. If you want a really tall setting, you need a pretty big stack of books to lay your pillow back against. And that allows for a very, very supported fish pose that's going to be easy on the low back and easy on the chest. And it looks like this. We're going to back the hips up to the pillow or bolster, and we're going to set ourselves back into a supported fish pose. So that tallest setting is going to be the easiest on your body. And then from there, we just get deeper into what we may want for our body. So that next setting would be here. You're gonna get a little lower, a little deeper into your low back and hip area, and a little more open at the chest. This would be an even lower setting, a little deeper. And then I'm gonna take the lowest, the deepest setting, because I know that's what my body can handle and wants. And it's the very same thing, no matter where you decide to land your pillow or your bolster. You're gonna back your hips up to the bolster, and you're gonna lay yourself back and allow the arms to just fall off to the side, palms up. Now legs can move around. I'm going to show you a couple of options here. So you can bend your knees, take your feet a little wider to the edges of your mat and allow your knees to knock together. That will give you the most support for your low back. You could lengthen the legs out if your low back can handle that. That's going to be a bigger load on the low back to have long legs. You could keep them bent and find butterfly with the feet together and allow some openness through your inner thighs to happen. Or you could find that simple seated position where you saw me start. The legs simply crossed in front of each other. I'm going to take the deeper butterfly and really allow all of my body to open back up through the movement we just did, the high-low push-up, the sun salutation routine. We moved a lot of energy. And so coming into this posture that's more restorative and meant to open, right? Open up. We're stretching through the chest. We're countering a lot of what we do during the week with gravity pushing us forward into our devices, into our computers, into our cars, into our what we're doing in life, right? Is very often forward facing and bringing our body forward. And so we are countering that by laying back and opening up and allowing gravity to open us back up, push us backward, right? And not in a metaphorical sense, but really just countering and finding balance for our body. And so just breathing here. We're just going to allow the body to open back up with our breath. And with your mind, if you can, let the thoughts that are coming go and direct your thoughts for gratitude. Gratitude that we can come to our mats and we can nourish this form through the movement, through what we did. Let's think about back on the practice of how we were able to find some flossing of our shoulders, getting into shoulder mobility. We did some lateral leaning and twisting to open the practice. We stretched through our neck, right? Gave some love and tenderness to our neck, shoulder area. We loved on our feet. We released a lot of grit and gristle out of our form through our feet, through the use of that ball underneath us. We built strength through that movement of the sun salutation, that finding our plank pose and moving through our high-low push-ups, squeezing that tennis ball under the arm, building that strength through our upper body, through our lower body, with our breath. All of that bringing balance back into our body, back into our experience. So grateful that we can move in these ways, that we can nourish ourselves, that we can find release, that we can find balance once again. So grateful that with the breath, we come back. The infinite well of wisdom within that reminds us that all is well. reminds us that nothing is wrong. Reminds us that peace is our birthright. Knowing that as we access the infinite peace within, we stand firmly in our own truth of that infinite peace within, that we know we are the peace, we create the peace. And we take the peace with us where we go. Understanding what a gift that is. What a gift that is to ourselves, what a gift that is to our families, our friends, our neighbors, even those that we might consider enemies. The infinite light within me recognizes, honors, and delights in that same infinite light within you, Divine Legend. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice today. I'll leave you here. Namaste.